Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Short Story Long. This week, I'm really excited about this episode. We're sitting down with NBA superstar DeAndre Jordan. DeAndre came by the office to talk about some ideas he had for starting his own podcast, and we decided to just go ahead and hop on Short Story Long to show him how it goes and also get his story. So I'm really excited about this one. He did a really good job at telling his whole story from childhood, first getting into basketball, going to Texas A&M for a year, getting drafted, and sort of his mentality and some pre-game warm-up mental exercises he does to do the things that he does in the NBA. So check it out. I think you guys will like this one. I'm really excited to share it.
The hardest part is figuring out what you want to master.
Focus on your product.
Can you tell somebody that they suck?
You gotta just go for
This is exactly
what I want to do for a living.
You can't even tell somebody that their breath is life.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Short Story Long. This week, I'm pleased to announce we have a very, very, very special guest. I'm very excited about this episode. A future podcaster and current NBA superstar, DeAndre Jordan.
Working on my album right now.
It's so good. We were just talking about how just having microphones, just having a mic sort of in your face makes you want to play a different character. And that was my broadcast.
Yeah, so I was thinking about making a freestyle here on the show today, but I think I'm going to hold off.
If you feel like that's what you want to do, I'm just letting you know this is a perfect place to do it.
Okay.
So we got about 45 minutes.
Trust circle here?
Yeah, we're in the circle of trust.
Okay, at some point I may just bust out and do a little rhyme.
Maybe one of your answers want to be in freestyle form.
Ooh, okay.
You know what I mean?
All right, I like that.
So thank you for making this happen. I know you're a extremely busy guy.
I'm not very busy.
Well, it's not what the TV tells me. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm really glad we can make this happen. Thank you.
Man, thank you for having me, bro.
Let's get right into it, man. Like I was telling you before, what I really like to do is go through people's stories, and I'm especially, I think it's really cool when it's people like you that so many people know and that has had these achievements on such a high level and is on TV on a regular basis and operating at such a high level. I think to be able to sort of make you relatable is really interesting to me, and that's kind of the goal. So what I usually start off with asking people is where they're from. Where did you grow up?
Houston, Texas.
What?
3rd Ward, Houston, Texas, man.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
What? How long did you live there?
All my life.
Really? Until what? Like when did you move out?
My
When you went to
mom kicked
college?
me out when I was 18. No, when I was 17.
Yeah.
No, I went to college for. I went to college, so that was great. I went to college for a year. I went to college at Texas A&M, so it was only an hour and 15 minutes from Houston. So
Got it. Okay. Okay. So all the way back to the beginning, what is life like for a very young, like sort of your earliest memories? Do you have like earliest memories growing up in Houston?
it was fun. It definitely shaped me into the person I am today.
Yeah.
But it was a struggle, man. It was a struggle. My mom raised me and my 3 younger brothers. We're all 2 years apart. Single mom, you know. So that was definitely tough. I don't know how she got it done a lot of the times because I have one child. I have a 2-year-old son now, and I'm like, shit, this is tough. You know? So, and she had 4 boys, and with jobs getting laid off and stuff. And I'm like, oh, you know what? I look in the mirror, I'm like, I have a pretty good job.
Yeah.
But you know, it's still tough.
Yeah.
It's still tough, man. And it definitely molded me to become a hard worker. But she definitely made it work for all of us. And it was a process, but it was something that I definitely look back on, and I'm appreciative for it.
Yeah. It's funny, like as I do, because I've done so many of these interviews, and I sort of start to see like patterns or like what really matters, and I just like I underestimated how much people's childhoods mold them for their life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like if you were, I mean, some people are born into hard circumstances, and it ruins their lives. You know what I mean? Yeah. Some sort of rise above it, and it makes them stronger than anyone with a perfect childhood. You know what I mean? It's like it's really interesting how your perspective on those things at a young age really affects how you go into the rest of your life. You know?
Yeah, you kind of go into it thinking about like, man, this is tough. Like, but then you think, okay, if it was easy, everybody would do it.
Yeah.
But then you look over and see, oh, okay, well, all my friends are doing this. Maybe I should just succumb to the environment and to society and just do this or stay in this circle, in this space.
Yep.
But then you think about, okay, well, shit, I look on TV and I see this person's doing this, and they're from a similar area to where I'm from, and they're successful, so I feel like I should be able to do that.
Yeah.
And if I could use basketball as a platform to do that, then why not?
Yeah.
And anybody to be successful and get, to not be the same as you were.
Yeah.
You always want to change and evolve and become better.
Yeah. Where do you think you got the mentality of like, I can do that? Like I see this guy on TV from a similar place where I'm from, like I can be different than all of these people around me. Was that just in your head?
I think it was in my head for sure, but then, there was always competition with me and my younger brothers.
Yeah.
We always had a competition. I'm better than you at this. So there was a lot of fights,
Were you the biggest?
I was the biggest. Yeah, but I mean, like my mom had a rule. So it's 4 of us and you couldn't fight somebody 2 years under your weight class.
Damn,
you know
that's
what I mean?
a good
Or your
rule.
age class. So I could only fight Corey because he was right under me, and Corey could fight.
You could
me
fight up or
and
one
Brett.
down?
You could fight down.
Yeah.
I could fight down. I couldn't fight up. There was nobody else to fight up.
Yeah, but he could.
But you could fight up.
Yeah.
But you couldn't. Yeah. So it was weird. And
What a cool rule.
and I think that competition aspect definitely was something that kind of instilled that in us. And my grandmother, she was a teacher for 40 years.
Yeah.
So she always harped on us about being better and always staying in school and becoming a better person. And she always preached, be smart. You have to be smart.
Yeah.
And I definitely think from a young age that was put on us. Yeah.
Do you think you had any like older brother protector, like take care of the 3 little brothers sort of thing? Did that happen or not really?
Yeah, man. It was really my mom. She
Really?
was definitely like mother bear. She definitely was ready to go at all times. And then my older cousin, who rest in peace, passed last year. Skeeter. He was there was no boys in the family until it was me, and he was like 17 years older than I was. Mm-hmm. So when I was born, he was, oh man, it's finally another boy. So he definitely looked out for me and my 3 younger brothers.
Yeah. What about early, like before? I mean, how old were you when you first started when you discovered basketball?
I played basketball, man, like every basketball player says, all my life.
Forever, yeah.
Yeah, I played forever. But
So you don't remember like a moment?
No, but I remember when I first played on the first organized team, and I was like, oh my God, this is cool. Like I get to play on the team. And
What age was that?
12.
Got it. How tall were you at age 12?
Man, I was taller than a lot of my teachers. I probably was I was probably 6 feet
Jesus Christ.
or 6 foot. I don't know.
Did you
I
just
dropped out of
grow
college, so I don't know
early?
how to
Like
say
you
that.
just grew early, or did you have some crazy growth?
I was
spurt?
always tall. I was always the tallest person in class, but I think I had a huge growth spurt after my freshman year of high school. I started my freshman year, I was 6'3",
Yep.
and then I came back and I was like 6'9".
Jesus.
So everybody was looking at me like, this guy's an alien, and I kind of was like, what? Like, I don't feel different. I feel the same.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh shit, I got to duck my head under this door. I didn't have to do that last year. But
Yeah.
you don't look at yourself changing like that.
That's
You
true.
just kind of, I'm like, oh wow, like I'm walking like a big friendly giant now, you know what I mean? So that was fun. It was a fun little experience.
Yeah. Were you ever like sort of skinny, lanky, tall, like trying to
Always.
figure you were?
Yeah, and I had big ass feet, so I looked like an L,
Just a walking L. Damn it. So did you ever have any, like, I guess this is my other thing, like when you were young, like teens, did you ever have another career path planned? Did you ever think like,
Man, I did not.
yeah, that's good. I like that.
And that sucks to say at
No,
that age. I'm
that's-
like, you know
no.
what? I'm pretty good at basketball. Like, I want to be on TV playing one day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then, but the thing was, we talked about it earlier. You come into a situation and you think, okay, well, this is my dream and that's it. My dream was to make it to the NBA.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
Like, man, if I could, make it to the NBA, that'd be great.
Yeah.
I didn't think about making it to the NBA, like, and accolades and, what actually playing in the NBA, not just making it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
being a starter in the NBA and then having all of these opportunities to be, the player that I am today and then the player that I want to become in years from now. And
Yep.
it's, once you get older and you broaden your horizons and think about things that you could be more successful at, then it's a cool journey.
It's funny the perspective of it, like we were talking about earlier. Like it's funny how you kind of set these unattainable, crazy goals, right? Like I want to make it to the NBA. And then a couple years after, I'm just guessing, a couple years after being in the NBA, you're probably like, okay, now I got to actually like perform.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
just
like-
being in the NBA
it's like,
isn't
okay,
enough.
yeah, that's not enough. I'm like, okay,
You know?
I'm 19. I'm in the NBA. I did the things that I wanted to do. Now what?
Now what? Yeah.
Yeah, that's like, damn, I'm 19.
Yeah, it's
like
crazy.
what's next? And then it's like, okay, fuck. Now I want to play.
Yeah.
Like now I want to play more. Now I want to start.
Now
I
there's
want
this record.
Yeah,
now,
and it's
you know?
like, and it's cool to knock down those things as you get older. And then you just, the cool thing about it is you can always set another goal.
Yeah.
You can always get better at something. You can always aspire for more, and that's the great thing about this business.
Yeah, so true. Yeah, I always say too, what's so fascinating to me is I've interviewed multiple people who have had early childhood dreams of, let's say, being in the NBA, right? Or being in the NFL, or like these sort of dreams. But there's always a moment in their story where they had to realize that would never happen.
Right.
I'm talking even to like my 5'9" Indian business partner thought he was going to be in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? Like there was a moment where he had to unfortunately realize he will never be in the NBA.
Yeah.
And I think that it's so fascinating that you actually are 100% living your like 12-year-old dream.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's so dope.
That's awesome, and I love it. And I'm very blessed and fortunate to be in the situation that I'm in now, and especially, like you said, it's millions of people that want to play in the NBA.
Yeah.
But it's only 360 of us
Yeah.
in there, and every year it's a new draft, so there's always competition, and which is great. But it's such a small percentage of people who actually achieve that dream.
Yeah.
Man. And granted, there's other leagues out there and other great leagues out there that people are playing in, but obviously, I believe that this is the pinnacle. This is the
100%.
the best league to play in, and to be a part of that is it's definitely humbling.
Yeah, it's cool, man. So when did you start? Okay, so you said you were like, how old were you when you first started in like a league?
12.
Okay, 12.
12, yeah.
So were you good right away?
No, I was nah. The first coach I had, as I developed into a better player when I was in high school, he was like, man, you got so much better. And I'm like, yeah, thanks. Like, yeah, I knew I would get better. But he was like, yeah, don't get too cocky. I knew you when you couldn't walk and chew gum at the same time. So I kind of was like, wait, damn, was I that bad?
Yeah.
But it takes, in my defense, it takes us big guys a little longer time to get into our bodies. A little bit. Yeah.
When do you feel like you started to like get it? Like when did it like, was it high school it started to click?
I think it was like my freshman year of high school.
Yep.
And I think that I thought that because that's when I got my first letter, from a college. And I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
This is big time, Like somebody's... And my first letter, I'll never forget, was from the Southern Illinois Salukis. And I was like, oh, I'm going to Southern Illinois.
There we go. I'm a Saluki.
Here we go. I'm going. And being young and being like 15 years old and getting that letter, that was super exciting for me. And I was like, you know what? These are the first people that sent me a letter. They deserve
rocking
me.
with them.
I'm going.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then the next week, I got another letter. And I was like, okay.
All right.
I'll just put this in the shoebox. And then after a while, it became a point where I was like, damn, I don't want any more letters.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, you want more letters because this is what you wanted. This is the path that I've chosen, and it's definitely paid off. So
Yeah. Did you have like a plan in high school of how you were going to get to the NBA? Meaning like, I'm going to go to hopefully this type of college. I'm going to do this. This is when
I
I'm
didn't
going to
even
enter
have
the
a plan
draft.
how I was going to make it out of algebra 2.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
So, shit, that was. I don't
So you
know.
were just going with the flow.
I was really going with the flow, man.
Yeah.
And you're young, you're just having fun playing basketball, but you knew ultimately what you wanted to do with this path, and I knew I was like, okay, well, I got to graduate high school, and I got to continue to get better.
Yeah.
I got to go to somebody's college,
Yeah.
and perform.
So that was it.
Yeah, that was really it, man.
Any early moments of like almost getting caught up in negative bad shit or did you ever do that, or were you always pretty like on the right path?
I was younger, way in my younger years before I actually was playing like organized sports. Yeah. But my mom, she just kicked my ass.
Yeah.
So
Is that what it was? Like mom
Yeah.
just had you on the straight path?
yeah, she had, and I had 3 younger brothers, so I had to, set an example. And even though all of my friends who I still love to this day, they may have taken other paths
Yeah.
than I did.
Yeah.
And
All your brothers?
I couldn't take that path. All my brothers play sports. Two of them football guys. One of them was a baseball guy.
Yeah.
So we're a pretty athletic family.
Man, props to mom.
Yeah, man.
I just feel like that would be so difficult. Like now, as I start to get older, like you said, as I don't have kids, but like putting myself in that scenario of trying to raise that many kids in that environment and keep everyone, like not only keep everyone alive, but like keep everyone on a good path, I just feel like it's impossible.
Yeah,
man.
I know it was tough. That's why today I look at her and I'm like, I don't know how you did it.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking at my son and I'm like, this is tough.
It's tough.
And I'm just working on potty training.
Yeah.
This is tough.
It's so
you know
true,
what I'm saying?
man. I can barely take care of myself.
Yeah, this is tough, man. But it makes you appreciate how you grew up and the people who helped take care of you.
It's so true.
Yeah.
So you decided on to go to Texas. You said Texas A&M?
Yeah.
Why there?
It was an hour and 15 minutes from home.
Yeah.
And I was 18 years old, so I was really comfortable in Texas and being close to family.
Yep.
And they were one of the first schools who recruited me and offered me a scholarship. And I had two other club basketball teammates who already had went to school there.
Yep.
So I was going down there every other weekend, going to check out football games and basketball practices. So ultimately, I just felt at home with that school.
Yeah. How were you in school? Like
I was a good student.
decent?
Yeah, I was a good student.
Yeah.
We definitely had tutors and study hall mandatory hours.
Yeah.
But overall I was a good student. Yeah. You know, we had class checkers.
You had what?
Class checkers.
What's that?
Like you went to class and there was a girl or a guy sitting there with a notepad and you had to sign your name to show that you went to class.
On every class?
Yeah.
Damn, I'm trying to think of what we did.
I'm pretty sure that probably was illegal for coaches to do that. But that's something.
Oh, it was only for the athletes.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying. Oh.
Yeah. And I'm like, all right. And then the class checker would sit there and kind of maybe like for half an hour and then
make sure you didn't bail?
Yeah.
And what type
but
of
I had
person?
some class checkers that you signed in and as soon as everybody signed in, they'd leave.
And then did you ever leave too? The guy at the checkers. Okay, never mind. We won't.
I think it's time for my freestyle.
Oh man, that's so good. What was the class checker? A student?
Yeah.
Just a little snitch.
Yeah,
huh?
snitch.
Damn it.
Probably not getting paid, just
wanted to be in the NBA.
Extra credit. Yeah.
Wanted to be in the NBA, and their dreams got killed, so they became a class checker.
A class checker.
Stupid. Guess who won't be on this podcast? A class checker.
Yeah.
How does it work? Because like I told you before, I'm not good at basketball knowledge, but like how do people decide whether to go straight to the draft from high school or to go to college? Like, is that sort of decided for you?
Nah, you can't do that anymore.
You have to do 1 year.
You have to do at least a year.
When did that start?
2 years before I got drafted, that was the last year to do it.
Got it. Okay, got it.
And everybody was doing it. You know, if you were good enough, go.
Yeah.
You know?
That's what LeBron did, right?
Yep.
Okay.
LeBron did that. And then I think I think it may have been Kevin Durant's draft and Greg Oden, those guys, they had to do 1 year.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
They had to do at least a year of college. So then everybody was like, damn, all right, I got to go to college.
Yeah.
But you know what? I think that, you know, if I would have had the opportunity to come out of high school, I definitely would have tried to come out of high school. But I do appreciate college, though.
Yeah.
Because
why?
Wait, this is a G-rated show or this?
No, this is full rating.
College is great.
Yeah,
you guys should go.
So
to
more on like just the like social level.
No, college is great, man. I had a good time. Like it definitely taught me more responsibilities because like in high school there was no, you know, schedules.
Yeah,
you know, it was. But in college, like you have a schedule, you have class, and you have practice, and you may have class again.
Yeah.
And then you have mandatory study hall hours and all of this stuff. So I appreciate college in that aspect of getting you ready and getting you in more of a routine.
Yeah.
For the next level. It just teaches you responsibility, I think.
And socially, it's just cool.
And socially, it's great.
Because I didn't go, right? I didn't go to college.
Yeah.
And I that's the one thing that I think I sort of missed was like it forces you to go around all these new people.
Yeah.
And it seems like a different social vibe than how high school is.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's like events and there's frat parties or whatever the hell people, right?
Yeah. Frat parties. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I was at a couple of those.
But like, where are people partying at Texas A&M? Like, you go to like the downtown zone,
so
and like everyone.
This is. I think it's funny.
Yeah.
When I first got to school, my mom was like, you know, where you going? And I was maybe like 10:30, 11 at night. I'm like, oh man, I'm about to go to the library.
Yeah.
And she was like, damn, like again? And I'm like, yeah, again. I gotta go to the library.
I love these books,
this place
Mom.
is crazy.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just getting ready for school. And then the next weekend, where you going? Back to the library.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, y'all always at the library. And I'm like, yeah, it's right, it's right next door to the dorm. So I just, walk over.
Yeah.
So fast forward 2 months later, my mom comes down. And then I show her the dorm and all this stuff and show her around campus. And she's like, wait, I thought you said the library was next to your dorm. And I'm like, yeah, it is. So she's like, show me.
Oh,
So I'm like, okay.
Mom, you can't get past
So
Mom.
so we walk by my dorm and she's like, where's the library? And I'm like, it's right there. The library is a club.
It's called the library.
It's called the library.
Yeah. So you didn't lie.
So I wasn't lying, but I was definitely at the library. So anytime she would call, she'd be, where you going? I'm like, going to the library. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
And that place was cool, man. It was the little area was called Northgate.
Yep.
So we would always go over there, man, and have a really good time.
Yeah, like I just think that's an important part of sort of learning how to be a normal social functioning adult,
Yeah.
is like how to just be in that environment. you
Yeah,
know?
man. It was good.
I missed that part. So at Texas A&M, what was the vibe like when you went you go from high school to college? Was there any shock or any this is a different level, or this coach is good or bad, or was there anything like that?
I think for me, my biggest struggle was a mental struggle.
Mm-hmm.
Because physically and athletically, all of that, like I felt, I was good. I was good playing, but for me, I wanted more. I wanted to play more. I wanted, more of a opportunity, more of a responsibility, and the big thing was patience. And I'm like, no, I don't want to wait.
Mm-hmm.
So it definitely was a mind game for me, just trying to be more mature, and like lock in and focus on my goals and be more of a student of the game, and that was tough for me at the beginning.
Yep.
But after a while, talking to older guys and even some pro guys, they told me like, what, everybody goes through that process to where you're like, what, this may not be for me.
Yeah.
And I went through that for maybe like a month or two, and then afterwards I was like, you know what, you got to push through this shit because at the end of the day, like it's gonna be. You're gonna pop out and it's gonna be sunshine, and that's what it was. And even in the pros, man, it's been tough, but like you say, you just keep working and keep pushing, man, and it all pays off.
Yeah. It's so good to have that perspective, because I also feel like when you're young and when you're even going to like a good college and doing that stuff, like you just want, I don't know, especially when you're hungry, like how you are. You want it now.
Yeah.
You're like, I can do this.
Yeah.
Like, let me out there. You know what I mean? And like, it's hard to like, you get that true perspective of like, trust me, this is a long game. And in the end, it's all going to pay off. It's good to have that guidance. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
So all in all, how'd that year go? You played well, everything went well?
Yeah, I played well. The year went great. We ended up losing in the second round of the tournament. We were a top 10 team in the country.
Yep.
So that was an awesome experience for me, being a 18-year-old from Houston.
Yeah.
And then I was like, you know what? I'm out of here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go, try to take my talents
Take
to
your
the
talents
next level.
to- yeah.
And and it was a cool process, man. And I love Texas A&M. I love College Station. I miss it. I still got some eligibility left. 3 years left. So
Yeah. Okay.
maybe. But no, man.
That could be your podcast.
Yeah.
DeAndre goes to college.
Yeah, I go to
Hey,
college.
it's week 7. Still sucks.
Yeah, Billy
Shouldn't have done this.
Madison.
Yeah.
But yeah, but the whole draft process that was fun until draft night.
Yeah. Why?
Because I went way later than I was.
What number were you?
35, second round. So I was pissed.
Are you sitting there like, shit?
Yeah, and I'm like, man,
every number.
rented this nice ass suit. I'm just sitting here, like, you know what I mean? I'm just sitting here, man. This is terrible. Like, and my brothers are like, man, when they gonna call your name? And I'm like, oh, in a second, And they're like, oh,
That's so funny.
like 10 picks later, Dre, like, what's going on? I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what's going on. Leave me alone. Like, at this point, I'm sweating.
Yeah.
And I'm upset. And then, the 35th pick comes up, and then Adam Silver, who's the commissioner now, was like, 35th pick, the Los Angeles Clippers select DeAndre Jordan. I was like, I was like, let's go. You know?
Yeah.
Then I was excited, but the whole
get it.
time before that, I was pissed. I was upset. I'm like, man, why am I here so long? You
Yeah.
know? But I think that from that day on, I was like, you know what? The teams that passed me up before, you know.
Yeah, here you go.
Yeah. I'm ready.
Yeah.
And it was a frustrating process, but when you hear your name get called, man, it's a blessing. And I was definitely excited and happy, and my whole family was there.
Yeah.
So that was.
That's the dream. That's the moment.
Yeah.
Right. Like I would
Especially
say,
being like 19 years old at Madison Square Garden, getting your name called, like that was cool.
that's cool, man. Like, because when you're younger, like, and you're picturing making it to the NBA, is that the moment you're picturing?
Nah,
It isn't.
well, you know what?
What's the moment?
That moment when they called my name, that's what I wanted to experience, and that was awesome.
Yep.
But the headache and the stress before, that's not how I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, but I mean, when you're picturing like the dream actually becoming true, is it that moment, or is it like the first time you walk out onto the floor, or like what was the, did you have that? Like,
I think it
just
was
can't
that,
wait
like
for
walking on stage, putting on the Clipper hat.
Yeah.
Like, wow, like I
That's
just
so
got drafted.
cool.
This is nuts. Like my friends at home, they're gonna love it. This is cool. I'm getting so many text messages and stuff.
Yeah.
And then the next experience I think was, going to the practice site, meeting all of the staff and your teammates and everything like that. And then when you have an opportunity to first, play your first minutes,
Yeah.
those are 3 big moments for me as a rookie.
Yeah. Was there ever any shock going to that next level? Like, was there ever a time when you felt out of your league or nervous, or walking out onto the floor at Staples, or like, was there ever a moment where you're like, shit?
I was nervous because my favorite player when I was young was Dirk.
Yep.
And we played against Dallas, like one of the first games of the season. And then, as a rookie, I wasn't really playing a lot, so I was having to work out before the games and like cardio and lifts and shoot and all this stuff. And I'm in the weight room lifting, and then Dirk walks in, and I'm doing like some cardio. And I like stop on the treadmill, and I'll tell our strength and conditioning coach, I'm like, yo, that's Dirk. That's Dirk. He's like, I don't give a damn if it's Dirk. Get back on the treadmill. And I was like, what? Like, this is crazy. This is my favorite player coming up. I'm 19 years old. I just look at this guy. I'm just like, oh, this is my first time seeing him in person. And the coach is like, so what? Get on the treadmill. You'll see this guy a million more times. Let's go, run.
You're gonna hate this guy.
Yeah, and I'm like, what? I'm just looking at him like I'm running on the treadmill, just kind of like looking back. Like,
Yeah.
This is Dirk.
Yeah.
And he comes out. Of course, he flames our ass for like 30. You know what I'm saying?
Did he?
But it was a cool experience, man. And then, then when you get older and you'll start to play against these guys, you're like, you know what? I don't like Dirk as much as I used to like Dirk.
That's so true.
No, I'm just kidding. But it's fun, man. Once that competition aspect comes into it, then it's a lot more fun.
Yeah, that's what else is so crazy to me is like, this might be normal to you now, but like the idea of it's only in this profession or sports where you grow up idolizing people, and then if you're lucky, like you were, you get to actually play them and compete against them.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, I loved you, but like I also like fuck
Yeah,
you.
now I
You
got
know
to try
what
to
I mean?
kick
Like,
their
it's
ass right now.
I
You know
don't know
what
how
I'm
to,
saying?
yeah.
Competition trumps all of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Rather I used to have that guy's picture on my walls from Slam magazine, or I used
now I
used
want to kill him.
ask for this guy's jersey for Christmas, and it's like, no, now I got to try to block this guy's shot, or now I got to screen this guy. You know what I'm saying? So it's it definitely was something to where I was like, it's over. No more favorite players. Like, you got to play against this guy. You can still have friends, and I have friends in this league to this day who are my best friends. But when we play on the court, like, I could care less about this guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm sure that they feel that same way about me. But it's just a competition. When the competition takes over,
That's always something I've wondered. Like if you can legitimately be really good friends with someone, but when you're out there, that does not matter at all.
Yeah, no. I've cussed out some of my best friends. Some of my best friends have cussed me out. We've gotten texts like in scuffles, and after the game we go to dinner together.
Really?
Yeah.
Is there anyone that you don't have to say their name, but anyone that you actually truly dislike that maybe if you saw out and about, like you'd want to punch in the face, or does it not go that far?
I don't think it goes that far.
That's
For some
crazy.
players, I think it does. Yeah, but for me, I just keep it on the court. It's all competition. Man.
Yeah. That's
You would
cool.
probably fight somebody, right?
What?
You would probably fight somebody.
Yeah, I couldn't do it. I can't balance those
Yeah.
two things. Like
Yeah.
when I watch you guys, like I'm like, damn, man, like I don't know how
Yeah.
you do that, and then because I know you see each other.
Yeah.
Like I'll
We see each other all the time.
Yeah,
For sure. Yeah. But no,
That's just a sports thing. Like you guys just know how to do that.
Yeah.
You know how to like want to rip someone's face off, and then
and then like, hey,
it's a
toast,
sport.
cheers.
Yeah. To me, if you get to that level, that means you have to fight.
Yeah.
You know, like that's just, like, that's all
You
I know.
Hey, I'll meet you in the parking lot same time.
Yeah, you
We'll
have
fight.
to. Yeah. What about any big moment in the NBA of? Because here's what I love, right? Like I'm trying to wrap my head around, like I said, like working on that level, living your dreams. Like it's just all so cool to me.
Mhm.
Was there a moment when you felt like I'm here, like I got this, like I'm gonna actually not only be in the NBA, but I'm here to really make an impact, and like I will, like even if it could be like I don't know, blocking someone's shot who you thought was so good, like just like a moment. Did that
Yeah.
ever happen? Anything? Like
Man, I think that when I got my first start,
that?
that was super cool. I started against the Lakers, back when they were, was it 2010, 11
Yeah.
when they won those rings with Bynum and Gasol and Kobe, obviously. I started that game. Chris Kaman was hurt, I believe, and I played well. Man, I had like 22 points and like 14 rebounds, and I was like, oh shit, like I can do this.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
could do this for a long time.
yeah.
And
so cool.
I'll never forget after the game, like, they beat us, of course.
Yeah.
They beat us. And, I'm, shaking hands with guys after the game, and Kobe comes up, he daps me up, and he's like, hey, man, you're going to be a good player in this league for a long time.
Yeah,
And I was like, oh, shit.
yeah.
Kobe Bryant just told me. So I immediately get on my phone and I text my brothers, guess what Kobe said to me?
Yeah.
And they're like, what? And I'm like, I told them, like, he didn't say that shit to you. And I'm like, I swear to God, he said it. I swear. And that was cool. And that definitely stuck with me for a very long time. So,
Yeah.
and just to be able to play against a great guy like that for the 8 years I played against him,
Yeah.
that was cool to come from him.
Is he? Do you think he's the best player you've ever played against? Like, who in your opinion is the best player that you've ever?
Oh man, I mean,
If you had to pick one.
gosh, that's tough.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you grow up watching guys like Kobe, and I played against Shaq. That was cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, Kobe was great, and we played those guys 4 times a year for 8 years. So
Yeah.
you always saw those guys. So
I just think it's always like, even with me, like, too, like we've met a lot of famous people or a lot of high achieving people. And like, sometimes you meet people and you're like, oh, that guy's an idiot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
like, there's some people that you meet or that you work with or whatever, where you're like, damn, like he is everything that I hoped he
Yep.
was. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
That's what Kobe seemed
Mhm.
like.
Yeah, he's awesome, man. Great. And the thing about him is like, he'll tell you that, and then right back to competitive.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
the way you can, like you said, balance both of those things and then separate it to where, like, I like you, you're cool, I wish you the best, but for 48 minutes, I'm going to try to kick your ass. And that's it.
Yeah. That's
So
so
that's-
true,
that's
man.
cool.
I got to work on that. You know what I mean? What about, like, it had to be dope when the Clippers sort of started to get more shine in
Yeah.
LA, right? Did
Yeah.
it feel like, because once again, this is where my lack of familiarity is going to come in, but it seemed like for the longest time, like you guys were doing your thing and it just wasn't thought
Yeah.
about. It wasn't a
Yeah.
priority.
Yeah.
Now it seems like Clipper games, there's more celebrities on the court. There's more news
Yeah.
about that. Like, did
Yeah, it's
that
definitely
feel?
fun, man. And it, like you said, I'm sorry, but
No,
it
no,
was,
no.
I remember, I'll never forget, like, my rookie year, we won as many games as my age. We won 19 games. We lost 63. So I'll never forget that. And I was like, damn, like, this is tough. I've never lost like this.
Yeah.
And then the next year we won a couple more games, and then we just always continued to get better. And to be a part of that progress was amazing, man. And then little by little, you start to see the culture change.
Yeah.
We were bad for a couple years, and then we ended up getting the first pick, and we ended up getting a guy like Blake. And then a few years later, we were able to get Doc Rivers and Chris Paul, and then then it starts to become more of an attraction for free agents to want to come here and guys to want to come here and play, because it's like, okay, well, that team isn't shitty. They have some guys that are good and I could play with, and LA's a great city, and there's a great coach there. So then it becomes to be like the pretty girl in high school.
Yeah.
Like, oh, she's new, she's pretty. Like, we should go.
Yeah. So true. That just has to feel good.
Yeah, so it was cool to be a part of that, man, and seeing like how how the levels and how you are going up each year. It's cool to be a part of that.
Yeah. What about, like, do you have any, like, number one, when it comes to, like, your training sort of regimen and that stuff, obviously, like, that whole thing is very next level to me. As you can tell, I'm not a big fitness guy, but not a big weightlifter. But any like sort of routines or like music or anything you do before a game to like get you going and ready to rip people's faces off?
Yeah, I'm super routine oriented.
Yeah.
And I'm meticulous. Like I got to do stuff at a certain time.
Yeah.
Certain things I got to
In throughout your whole life?
throughout
Like meaning
the game day.
breakfast? Okay, game day.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like I'm taking a nap at a certain time, waking up at a certain time. I'm getting when I get to the arena, I'm getting a massage. I'm doing some
Yeah,
yoga.
yeah.
And the one I never forget. Like it was maybe like 6 years ago. I was late to the arena because of this great traffic we have here.
Yeah, gotta love it.
And I'm on the 10th freeway, and I'm like, shit, I'm gonna be late. But mind you, I get to the game like 3.5, 4 hours early.
Yeah.
So I'm like, damn, I'm gonna be late. I'm gonna get there 3 hours before.
Yeah.
Because I think as a rookie, they always made us get there early, and that kind of stuck with me. So even now in my 10th year, I still get there at the same time I got there when I was a rookie.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, you know what? I'm not gonna have time to get a massage, do yoga, so I just gotta lift, do a little cardio, shoot, and then do the rest of my stuff. And that game, I sprained my ankle, and I think that from then on, I was like, okay, yep, my strategy's right. I can't get out of my routine.
So
I got to
true.
do my stuff, and I never was late after that.
Yeah.
But it was just, I think that once you get a routine and you get something that's comfortable to you,
Yeah.
and for you, and it's weird, man. But everybody's different, but it works for me.
Yeah. Anything to get you motivated to like kill people? Because when I watch, once again, just me watching from a from my perspective, the shit you do and the people that you have to like go against at such a level, and like really like just these 7-foot tall men that you're just trying to fucking attack, like, is that just naturally in you?
I think it's naturally in me, but I also I'm gonna sound like a junkie.
It's okay.
It's okay. This is a
Welcome.
great show.
This is also
I
an
get
intervention. That's why all
I
your
have a
friends
couple
are
of
here.
black coffee, 3 sugars,
Yeah.
I pound that, and then I listen to some Tupac.
Yeah.
Hit 'em up.
Yeah.
Listen to that shit like
That's what I
on
was
repeat.
hoping. Yeah.
And then I'll chug a energy drink and then go out there. And I do the same thing at halftime. So after the games, I'm kind of sitting there
Yeah.
shaking and shit at the dinner table.
Yeah.
But then about 3 o'clock in the morning, I'll go to sleep.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
That's what I like. Damn it, that's good. Can I ask you about this? And we can skip it if you don't want to answer it.
Oh,
But
shit.
this is the only one. When the Donald Sterling shit went down,
Oh, that was crazy.
was that like? Did the team like? How did that look behind the scenes? Like, because I remember watching that
Yeah.
and being like, "Fuck, what a jam up!"
Yeah.
If you're one of those guys.
This was during the playoffs too. We were playing
yeah.
the Warriors, and during that. Whole
And so,
deal.
did you guys huddle up separately and say, "What? How are we gonna deal with this?"
Well, we found out the night before that something was gonna, that something got out and it was gonna be released the next morning.
Got it.
So we were like, okay, well, I wonder what this guy said or whatever.
Did you
And-
know it was like he did something fucked up?
Yeah.
Okay, but
we
that's
didn't
it.
know what was said.
Yeah.
Something's gonna be released tomorrow. We're like, oh shit,
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, well, whatever.
Yeah.
We'll find out tomorrow.
Yeah.
So the next morning, like 7 a.m, I'm getting all these texts from my boys,
Fuck
family, like. So I'm like, all right, well, let me go listen to it.
Yeah.
So I'm listening to it, and then, slowly, my mouth is just dropping.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm just sitting there,
Just
like,
worse and worse and worse.
what?
Yeah.
And so then we get to the breakfast meeting, and then we're all sitting in there, just complete silence. You can hear a pin drop again.
Yeah.
So I'm just sitting there, and I'm an emotional guy, where my heart on my sleeve. So I'm sitting there, and you can tell I'm visibly pissed off.
Yeah.
And they ask us, they're like, what's wrong? I'm like, I think it's bullshit. I'm not playing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a couple other guys was like, yeah, I'm not playing either. And this isn't the playoffs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where we worked our ass off from, September to be here, you
Yeah.
know, and it was just it was very emotional, and it was tough to deal with. But I think that we all learned something from it because it got us closer as a team.
Yeah.
Because we were like, you know what, when we were kids, growing up and thought about the playoffs and thought about competing for a championship, we didn't want to do it for somebody else.
Yeah.
We wanted to do it for us.
Yeah, it's a
for
jam.
our enjoyment,
Yeah.
our families, and to build a legacy. But then we all came together and we were like, okay, we're not going to stand for that. We're going to stand for us as a team, and who've been fighting. So that game, I believe we had like Los Angeles Clippers like shirts, and we all turned them inside out.
Yeah.
And then went out on the court and like we kind of made our little statement. But
Yeah, you did a good job.
it was cool, man. And even a guy like JJ Redick was like, yeah, like probably was like the only white guy on the team.
This is messed up.
He was like, this is terrible. And I love JJ. That's my guy, man. But he visibly was upset about it because
Yeah,
we're all in the locker room together, and we're 8 months together, so we're brothers. You know what I mean? And we go through a lot of crap together.
And it wasn't like light. It's not like it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, no, it wasn't like guys. If you look at it this way, like this shit was bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
and then they went and Ballmer took over not long after that.
yeah, maybe like the year after, I think the season.
Got
after.
it. So it kind of, like, from your guys' perspective, did it blow over kind of quickly? Like it kept it moving. And
yeah, I mean, anytime you spend $2 billion, it's gonna blow over.
Sure. Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Pretty much do what you want for $2
So
billion.
yeah, man, it was great. And Ballmer's great. He's an amazing owner.
Yeah.
He loves the game of basketball,
Yep.
and you should hear him. He's louder than I am on the sidelines.
I've seen the videos and shit.
He's very
Animated.
yeah, and energetic, and it's cool, man. If we make a play or get a dunk or get a block, he's red in the face like he just did it, and it's and it's cool to see somebody who owns a team and is that passionate about it.
Yeah, I agree, man. That's cool. Okay, yeah, that was just something that I always wondered. Because I've known you guys for a while, and I obviously see Blake out and about all the time.
Yeah.
But that's just not the type of question. I'm not going to see you at the club and be like, "Yo, man, hey, how about that Donald Sterling shit?" You know what I mean? But
it was definitely a little dicey, but I'm glad that it's over with and we get to move on. Man, I haven't even thought about that for a while.
I know. Yeah, I just had to ask.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna dream about that tonight.
I fucked up. Damn it. Okay, here's like kind of my final. Like these are like the more general questions, right? Like one of the things that I like to ask people is seeing all that you've seen, like you've obviously lived a lot of different, coming from where you come from, making it through that, then seeing even Texas A&M life, which I haven't experienced, then all the stuff that you've done while in the NBA. I'm guessing we were talking earlier about all the trips you've went on and you've lived a lot of life. Mm-hmm. If you could tell a kid who just graduated college and walked off stage and there you are. Hey man, it's me, DeAndre.
It's DeAndre, the college dropout, coming to talk to you.
Let me just give you one. Like, do you have any like sort of gem for that type of person?
Man, I would say to always shoot for something that even you think that is impossible. Go beyond what you want to do. Mm-hmm. And because I think that I made that mistake, not a mistake, but I made that call when I was younger. Like, I just want to do this and I'll be happy with that. Mm-hmm. Never be complacent in what you're doing. And anytime you can always, like we said before, anytime you can always set another goal, a higher goal, that's that's awesome, man.
Yeah, because I feel like too, like a lot of times people go wrong because they make their dream sound so scary that they just don't do anything.
Yeah, right? A lot of people are afraid to fail too, which is
and what you realize is when you get there, it's not even that cool.
Yeah,
you're gonna wonder what the next thing
is. Damn, like what's next? Everybody's gonna want to do more.
Yeah,
and I think that may be the advice. Do more.
Yeah, because who would have thought, like, if you told your 12-year-old stuff, you will make it to the NBA and you'll be wondering how to start a podcast? You'd be like, shut up, dude.
Yeah, like, why would you want to do a podcast? You're going to make it to the NBA.
Yeah,
what?
like, I make it to the NBA. That's when life is just kind of, I made it.
Yeah.
Here's another one. Do you have a favorite failure? Did you have anything that sticks out in your mind that maybe at the time you thought was like a really big deal and ended up not being or ended up sort of you learned a lesson from it or anything like that?
I think it was draft night for me.
Mm-hmm.
Because, when you're a kid, you always want to be a lottery pick, a first-round draft pick, and I was a second-round draft pick. So at that point, I was like, man, I failed.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
But I think from that point on, it gave me a little bit more of a boost.
Yeah.
And a bigger chip. And I think that the situation that I'm in, people always say, everything happens for a reason. Mm-hmm. I believe that sometimes.
Yeah.
But in this case, I believe that something that happened to me for a reason because it made me stronger mentally, and it made me want to work harder. And with that whole situation, I'm in a great situation, and I'm in today. I've been with this team that got drafted by for 10 years, and that's been extremely awesome for me to be a part of.
And you almost left, but you backed out. I remember
Yeah.
that. I remember because like we don't gotta get into that.
That was
We don't gotta
crazy.
get into that. But I remember.
I would have rather that question than the Sterling question.
Yeah. I just remember that happening, and I remember like I said, I remember being bummed.
Yeah.
Like I remember being like, damn, like I like the whole thing that they have going
Yeah.
on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was that was a little tough time too, but it was eye opening because I think I wanted to branch out and do more.
Yeah.
But then I think loyalty for me kind of kicked back in, and I was like, you know what, I want to be able to finish something that we started here, and win. If I wanted to win a championship, I wanted to win a championship with those guys here, with the team that drafted me, and
I love that, man.
but hey, man, I'm here. Don't be sad about it.
Yeah, I know. Thank God.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
You're welcome.
I really appreciate that.
Because I feel like if I was there, I wouldn't be able to come on the podcast. Bro.
Absolutely not. No. What about you? We were talking about podcasts and stuff. Do you have any favorite go-to podcasts, books, documentaries, anything like that?
Well, this one I was listening to for a little bit, but then it was shitty. Was it Short Story Long?
I knew it. I fucking knew that's what you were going to say. You motherfucker.
No, man. I'm just really getting into everything. Listening to a lot of different podcasts and some visual things, just to kind of just get information and also get a great laugh and just some, like you said, insight to other people's lives. And that's really cool to be able to relate to other people who you would only see probably on television or read about in a book.
Yeah. And I'm going to go ahead and put it on record and let the whole world know you're going to start a podcast.
Shit.
And so now you are being held accountable.
I'm sweating right now.
And I'm
y'all.
excited. And we just talked about it for like half hour before we started. You're going to find exactly sort of what, you have some really good ideas. You're going to find out exactly what the lane is and you're going to do it. I think it's such a dope thing. And I think that like we talked about, like people want that access.
Mm-hmm.
They want to know what you're really about. They want to hear you talking to your friends. Like they want it more than you think they want it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think like you're going to be really pumped on where it takes you. I say give it a year. What I told myself is I'm going to treat it like it's like a diet, and I'm going to, and to trick myself, I'm going to say that it's a project. It's not like I don't care at all how many people listen, even though I do a lot. I'm just going to interview one inspiring person a week for a year, no matter what. If it sucks after a year, I'll quit. But the conversations that it's opened up and the different opportunities and all that stuff is crazy. And I know that that's what's going to happen if you do it. So you have to just go for it and commit to it, and at least for a year. Yeah. And then call me like, yo, you were wrong, and that sucked, and thanks for wasting my time. You know what I
hope I don't make the call, but if I do, it's definitely going to be a lot of bleeps. Because I'm like, you told me it's going to be a great idea.
I'm going to record it and air it as a follow-up episode.
No, man, I'm super excited about it, man. This is something that my friends and I have been talking about for a little time now, and I think it's time that we go out there and try to do it, man. And I came here to get some advice from the great.
Oh, jeez.
And
stop it.
No, not you, the lady outside.
Oh, yeah.
Nah, I came to get some advice from the great, and just kind of see where we're gonna go with it, man. So hopefully, whenever we get this thing going on, you'll come down and sit and talk with me.
Yeah. Hey, it's the least I can do.
I'll get you some free drinks or whatever.
Whatever, smart water. All I need is smart water.
Okay, cool. Smart
Maybe
water.
a Red Bull and some Tupac. Get me ready.
Hit him up. That'll be the song that we play right when we start.
Yes. What's funny is you have the same routine to go like battle 7-foot men as I do to like do a podcast.
Okay.
Like it takes me the same. I'll be in the Uber on the way here. Like, come on, man, you got this. You're so smart. People are gonna be so inspired.
Beating your chest and shit.
Okay, last thing. This is the big lofty end question. Like we were just talking about, you're smart. You're already progressing. You're already thinking of what's next. Do you have sort of a grand vision of what you see like is coming next? What are you doing in 20 years? Do you have any of that, or are you just kind of like you're taking the next thing and you're attacking it and doing it well?
Yeah, I think I'm just taking the next thing and attacking it right now.
Yeah.
And then, but with that being said, I'm also, trying to put my foot and mind in different other things, just kind of see what I like to do.
Yeah.
No, actually what I love to do. Because when you're retired, you're only going to want to do stuff that you want to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When I'm done playing basketball, I don't want to do something because I have to do it.
Yep.
I want to do it because I actually love to do it and I enjoy it and it's fun for me. So we're just trying to figure those things out now, even though hopefully I have a long time before I'm done playing. Just to be able to use this platform and just kind of, test out different markets and see what I want to do is good for me to get a head start on.
Yeah, agreed. Well, I'm excited, man. I know whatever you're going to do, it's going to be good.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for making this happen. We did it.
Yes, sir, man. I'm glad. Thank you so much
If
for
you
having
ever
me.
want to come back and freestyle, we're here.
I will. I'll write some shit down.
Thank you.
I'm more of a pen and pad guy
That's
anyway.
okay. As long as you memorize it and act like it's a freestyle.
Okay, cool.
And then I'll just make like hype man noises in my mic.
Okay, cool. I like that.
There
Hit
it
him
is.
up. Hit him up in the back a little bit.
That'll
and
be
then
the
you
beat.
do the rest of the beat.
That should be the beat, right?
Yeah, but I want you to do like a little.
You want me to
beatbox.
say it?
Or like ad libs for
Yeah.
sure.
Okay. Done. There it is. Coming soon, guys. Hot 16 from DeAndre
Hot
Jordan.
fire.
Here we go. Thank you, man. We did it.
All right, there it was. I hope you enjoyed it. I really like doing that one. I love more than anything when somebody like DeAndre, that is so well known and has such a known career, comes on and really shares the details and is very open and easy to talk to. And it's just the perfect guest for this podcast. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Be on the lookout for his podcast. No name, no nothing yet, but from talking to him about it for a long time, I can tell that it's going to be something really cool and he's really into it. So that's coming soon. I'm going to keep putting pressure on him to make sure he actually does it. And that's it. Thank you. Once again, the drama newsletter is at ynr.com/LA. My YouTube is youtube.com/drama, where my new podcast/YouTube show group chat is on. Also, you can search group chat in iTunes and subscribe to the podcast there. 40% off all full price items on Young and Reckless with the promo code SSL. And while you're at it, don't forget to go leave me some positive feedback on the iTunes store or the podcast app on your phone. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. And I'll be back next week.